Yo, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome to a new episode of The Road to Glory. Episode number 9, I believe it is. I've got another jam-packed episode, and I really mean it this time. Jam-packed. It's ridiculous. So if you do enjoy, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, and of course don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Support recently has still been off the charts. Thank you very, very much. Now, I told you at the end of the last episode that I would show you my rewards that I get from squad battles. I played it last week. I'm not playing it this week because I'm more focused on FUT Champions. But we finished Elite 3 and it was pretty easy to do so. I didn't even play all of my games and stuff. And so we get like 20,000 coins in 3 different packs. The first pack I end up getting myself a Rondon, which was definitely kind of hoping for a little bit better. But the pack's got like 5-6 players in it. It's also got like management, we've got contracts, we've got fitness items, healing cards, all things that are really, really going to be useful to me along the way. And it means that I don't have to like grind out the bronze pack method as much. Next pack we don't get the little side lights, so that's not going to be a board. What are people calling it? Like billboard? I call it a drop down. I don't know about anyone else. But we get Perez. We get Lucas Perez, 81 rated player, now in La Liga. Actually looks really good this year. I think he's had a massive pace boost. We also get Kingsley Coman, which is a good player to get because I believe he sells for a few thousand coins. So I'll definitely offload him because I've already got Bellarabi, and actually you'll see later on in this episode, very soon actually, that we're going to get rid of the Bundesliga side. I know, it's 9 episodes in, I've changed my team like 400 times already, but I'm enjoying like changing things up, trying to get the strongest teams that I can possibly get. And the third pack, we end up getting Baumgartlinger, so really disappointed with the overall like caliber of players that we got for our squad battles rewards, and it did kind of put me off playing it for the next week as well, but obviously I'll take all of those players. They're all coins, or they're all useful for SBCs, and we got like 20,000 coins as well, so it wasn't all worthless. I asked last episode, and I think that is a good idea to change formation so that I'm rocking 2 teams with the same formation, because when I'm switching things up, hopefully in the weekend league and stuff, I don't want to be getting used to playing 2 different game styles, but I hopefully want to put the similar types of players in each position so that I can literally just swap it out for fitness and it's basically the same team, even though I'm swapping it out every game. So I do decide to sell Belotti, even though he was originally going to be my striker for my Serie A team. Like, I think he's a great player, but I've decided that I'm going to try and play Perisic up front on 7 chemistry, because I think his added 4-star skill moves could be helpful for us, and he's a little bit, or he's either the same pace or better on the ball or something than Belotti. He's just not got quite the physical, but he has got the 5-star weak foot. Now take a look at this purchase we've just gone ahead and made. 55k for Ousmane Dembele, an absolute elite tier player on this game. It's someone that I really wanted to buy, and as you can see, we're going for Martial as well. I'm going for a pretty sick team, to be fair. This is going to be my main strong squad, and I can't wait to show you what it actually looks like. I needed a few things to sell. I ended up buying a Bakayoko there. 21,500 is kind of expensive, but apparently he's like game-changingly good, or game-breakingly good. We then pick up a Rudiger. I was spamming for a 16k one, nothing was coming up. I ended up moving up the old buy it now price, and then I bought one with an anchor chemistry style. Now I'm trying to buy Danny Rose here for 9,000 coins. I'll buy whatever one pops up, and we get him for 7,600, and then it drops into the club, and I notice he's got a shadow chemistry style. That right there is an absolute bargain that we just got on Danny Rose, who is supposed to be another one of the greatest like fullbacks in the game. Really strong stats on him. So look at this team right here. This is now my new go-to. Look how strong it looks, man. We've got a mix between the La Liga, the Bundesliga, and of course the Premier League as well. Look at that midfield. I mean, look at all of the players in general. They look great, right? We've got solid defence, but Goretzka, Tolisso, Bakayoko in the midfield, Dembele and Martial up front, with one of my favourites, Ben Yedder. I'm just hoping that that is going to be like a good weekend league team. I think that sort of squad fits the meta of the game of like overpowered players that just sort of work. So that is exactly what I was aiming for. So the second team is not going to be the Bundesliga anymore. It is going to be the Serie A squad. I sold Alan and bought him back because I had him in a CDM, but I needed him in a CM. So rather than buy a position change, I could actually sell the CDM for more and buy the CM for less because that's his default position. I ended up taking a look at lots of Serie A midfielders to see who had like good interception, strength, tackling ability, because that's what I want my midfielders to be. And I ended up getting Strootman and Khedira, two kind of slow players, but they're high rated, and I think their stats look really, really good. So you can see a lot of my players sold here, and we're up to like 23,000 coins. I needed Nani to complete my Serie A team. He's going to go in at left forward in the 4-3-2-1. And then it was just down to me buying a few little position modifiers and stuff, which some of them are actually quite expensive. I didn't realise that. I've got a bunch in my club, so maybe the ones that I don't see myself using, I'll sell on for now because weekend league's coming up. Everyone's trying to get the right teams in the right positions and stuff like that. But this is the Serie A team. Again, I think this one looks really, really strong. The defence of Manolas and Koulibaly, and then that strike force of Cuadrado, Nani and Perisic looks amazing. And then this is obviously the go-to. So I had to put a bronze bench on most of my team because I needed a 78 overall, which kind of messed me around for like the... Normally, I would have all my gold players on the bench because I'm rotating the team for fitness and stuff. But obviously, I couldn't quite do that. I knew I was going to have to use some of my fitness items in order to use my current teams in this daily knockout. So I come up against a Premier League side here. For some reason, he had Danny Welbeck at centre mid in a striker position. So it gave me a little bit of confidence straight off the bat. Bakayoko plays it in to Ben Yedder, to Martial, who spins the defender, and then with that weak foot just annihilates it, low driven into the bottom corner, or underneath the goalkeeper, should I say, and we go 1-0 up with just 11 minutes on the clock. A lovely scoop turn there to gain loads of space, and the keeper's not going to get to that one. Martial then plays it out to Ben Yedder, who just does the defender, and then look at this use of the new skill move, absolutely kippers him again, low driven, fired into the back of the net. That's a beautiful goal. And that's one of the reasons I really like Ben Yedder. I feel like maybe in the team that we've got right now, he kind of doesn't stand out as like one of the better strikers on the game or one of the better players in the team. But you can't underestimate that 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot. I think it's so, so useful. And then someone I didn't expect to get a goal ever for my team is Bakayoko. Apparently, a lot of my mates have been using him, and they've been saying that he's super overpowered and really, really necessary for your team. So that's why I bought him. But the one thing I've heard is that his shooting is abysmal. So I wasn't expecting him to score that. And then Martial fires in an absolute banger. Now, my main worry, I guess, is that Ousmane Dembele and Martial both absolutely plummet in price because they're over 50,000 coin players. But I bought these players on Monday, and you'll see in this episode later in the week. And, well, I feel like prices are heading upwards because of the weekend league. People are trying to get their players in for the weekend league. I think I've probably made a few mistakes. By the way, what a beautiful goal that was. Another great use of the skill move. And then this guy eventually will just rage quit at half time because, well, you know, he's 5-0 down. So I don't blame him, to be fair. But yeah, I think a lot of you have said that maybe I should have kept like the David Luiz and sold him on the weekend league comes up because obviously his price is now probably 10k more than what it was when I sold him. But I feel like just selling some players when they're at a very high price anyway, it allowed me to like go ahead and buy Martial and buy the crazy players that we've got in our teams, Tolisso and stuff like that. I think it allowed me to buy the likes of Tolisso, who has gone up like over 10k himself as a lower rated player. And like with the Socrates and the Alejandro Gomez and stuff that I bought, I made mad profit off of those guys anyway. I think I made over 10k on Alejandro Gomez, about 8k on Socrates. Like, we did really, really well because I bought a lot of players on the launch day. So I'm hoping that the likes of Ousmane Dembele and Martial are actually just going to keep going up, and that their price will settle at around what I've got them at, so it doesn't really matter too much. But for me right now, it's just kind of important that I've got them in the team because they do fit, as I said, they do fit the meta of the game. They work really well. And I need players like that because I'm obviously extremely average at this game. I need to have the good players that are going to do work for me in order to have a little bit of success. So it's 1-1 in this game right now. And Nani ends up scoring kind of a similar goal to the last one, just in the right place at the right time. And when I used Nani in the random pick the other day on Sunday, he did exactly the same for me then. Just randomly scored goals out of the blue, just being at the right place at the right time at that back stick. Unfortunately, doesn't secure a first half hat-trick there. Hits the bar off the chip shot. I shouldn't have put quite so much power on it. Now, does anyone actually know if this is actually Robert Perez's gamer tag? It probably isn't, obviously, but apparently he's got kids that are very much into FIFA and play a lot of FIFA and stuff like that. And I just wondered maybe if it was, you know, he's got like all the Arsenal stuff. Maybe it was him, or maybe it's just a Perez fan. I guess that's probably the more likely, right? But he does equalise on me before half-time. Olivier Giroud, of all people, doesn't look like the greatest player on the game, but of course, if you can get him into the right position, he has got a cannon of a shot. And then Giroud 1-2s it here with Danny Welbeck, gets into a great position, and does end up taking a lead on me in the early doors of the second half. Now, not really very happy about that, because I was 1-0 up and 2-1 up. And then some great passing movement again. Cazorla fires one into the back of the net. I'm basically looking at myself here thinking, yep, you're out of the daily knockout tournament, mate. I'd set aside the whole evening on the night that I played this stuff, which was Monday night, to play all night long until I qualify for the weekend league. But obviously the first run that I'm having here today is going to go on in this episode. Anything else that I had to do, I would probably still record it, but a lot of it might just be off camera, because you can't just record like 10 attempts at a daily knockout. It's not really worth it, right? But as you can see, this guy was like park the bus or ultra defensive at this point in time, and it made it really difficult for me. I also kept hearing that the commentator was saying, oh, by the way, 4-4 in the 90th minute. Only gone and brought 2 goals back and gone and pushed this one into extra time, haven't I? Kept hearing the commentator say something about the offside trap. So I think this guy was playing super far back and then just aggressively sprinting his defenders forward, which was catching me out every single time, not going to lie. It's something that I've not played against. It was almost like this guy didn't really have a formation. He just had a whole bunch of players everywhere all the time, which was interesting. It was something that I'd not played before. So we do push it into extra time, and nothing really happened in extra time. I had 1 or 2 chances, but not that great. And eventually we go into penalties. Now with the penalties, I save the first one, and I get extremely lucky that my one actually goes in, even though it hits the goalkeeper. He then misses his second penalty, so we're kind of in the driving seat right now, and I score my first 2. So we're 2-0 up. He then steps up with Giroud. I should have saved that one, but I guess karma from my first penalty means that that one was always going to go in. I'm 3-1 up right now. Danny Welbeck steps up. He ends up scoring that one. Nice fake from him. And then I step up with Strootman and get very, very lucky for that to go in. 4-2 is the eventual final score, and I run off, and for some reason, I think I was annoyed, I ended up dabbing him, which is not something I typically do. So we're through 2 rounds of the daily knockout tournament. 1 via a penalty shootout, so it was kind of close. And we were like 4-2 down in like the 86th minute. So good to come back from that one. I've got to say, it did feel kind of good. So I pushed this guy early doors with his Balotelli team, and I'm in the box taking like opportunities and stuff like that, and then he just straight up counters me. And would you take a look at this pace and strength from Mario Balotelli, who was my main player in the random pick the other day, and I said great things about him. So I knew when he got away from me right there, I was going to go 1-0 down. Even the likes of overpowered Bakayoko couldn't help me there. And then that is the shooting that I was expecting from Bakayoko, that my mates had told me not to shoot with him for, even though I scored with him on his debut. So this guy's defensive formation meant that I really needed to change something up. I've gone with the 4-2-3-1 to match him, kind of. Not the really wide one, but the central one. And it worked straight away. Really did. Like 5 minutes into the second half, I managed to get Martial through just from a nice bit of passing play. And then the low driven from inside the box is pretty much always going to go in. Yeah, like really nice pass from Leon Goretzka right there. It seems weird that I was playing him as a central cam, but I wanted Dembele and Ben Yedder on the left and right because they've both got the 5-star weak foot. I nearly scored right there. That would have been amazing to go in the lead via that particular like passing play and stuff. But eventually we go into extra time. Now I clawed back some into possession. I obviously clawed back a goal. So that change in formation really did help me in this game. But it does go, unfortunately for me, back into another penalty shootout. I score my first one and do go 1-0 up. Balotelli steps up and he scores. He's obviously known to be a very good penalty taker. I go 2-1 up here with Ben Yedder. He scores his penalty. And then Edem misses the target. So I'm now 2-1 up. I take the penalty. I go 3-1 up with... Well, this is to make it 3-2 right now. Griffo, he does that. So, I am 1 goal ahead no matter what. I then score again with Dembele. He then steps up with Fabio Barini. And I wanted to go right, and I nearly did, and I just didn't. Bakayoko steps up, and he equalises by saving that one. He then scores his penalty, which puts the pressure on me to score this one. Tolisso steps up, scores straight down the middle. For a minute there, I thought his keeper wasn't going to dive. It's now fully equal in this game. He ends up scoring his penalty, and then I score mine as well. Don't know why I accidentally cut that clip out of there. Sorry, guys. I don't know how my keeper didn't save that one right there. Rudiger steps up, sticks it into the corner. Again, don't know how the keeper didn't save it. He then steps up with Tonelli. He's looking left, so I go left, and I save the penalty, and that right there is what wins me the game. The save from Ralph Farman, one of my favourite keepers on FIFA ever. Like, he's just always good. Eventually wins me the game against what I've got to say was a very tough opponent. He just played super slow with that defensive formation really wide. It meant I hardly had the ball. So it was a very tough effort to beat that guy. So we're through to the final when we come up against this team right here. I just applied a squad fitness to my strongest team because it was the final. I wanted to make sure that I actually could use it and do my best. So I push on him early doors. He blocks the shot and then intercepts the play, and then instantly, look at that. Where the hell are my defence right now? He breaks with Bellarabi and Werner and does go 1-0 up after 3 minutes. And I wasn't on attacking, I wasn't on anything, I was just on balanced, and my defence were that far up, and he was able to counter me so very easily, which I was really unhappy about. It shook me right off the bat. So I changed things up, and I think I probably put myself like ultra defensive counter attack so that my defenders could definitely stay back, but then I could still push up the pitch with my midfield and attack. And I end up getting a goal here with Ben Yedder only a few minutes later. I needed to fire back really quick this time, and again some great move. I think that was another back heel pass from Goretzka to set that play up, which has been super helpful for me so far. Martial then plays it into Ben Yedder, who then gets it. Look at the great passing play that was. One of the finer goals I've scored on FIFA 18 so far. That was absolutely ridiculous. Now, I always take the mick out of FUTWIZ Dan because he scores a lot of tap-ins at the back post, but then always tells me that they're good goals because the passing play was good. I can now kind of understand it. So Dan, if you're watching, I sort of understand it. I'm still going to take the piss out of you. And at halftime, we'd managed to turn the game around 2-1. And the second half, I was really confident. I was firing on all cylinders, but so were my opponent's defence and goalkeeper and post, and I spent about most of the second half on the edge of his area. I get through here with Ousmane Dembele. I take that scissor kick shot, but the keeper just about saves it. I'm on the edge of the box here, take the shot with Rudiger of all people. It hits the post. And then, well, it's the 86th minute. He's on the attack. What's going to happen? You already know what's going to happen. Top rack! Oh, we actually do manage to save it. I had you thinking that we were going to concede right there. And as we go and clear the ball here in the 90th minute, the referee does blow the whistle, and I do win the daily knockout tournament, and I am in the weekend league. That was the one thing that was bugging me this week, is that I knew I had to qualify for the weekend league if I am going to potentially play all 40 games. So I'm now in it. I got myself 1,000 coins and an Electrum pack, and confirmation that I do make myself available for the weekend league. So I need to work my ass off this week, get all my videos done so I've got some time to actually play my first ever 40 games of the weekend league. I'm not looking forward to it, I'm not going to lie, but I've got two teams which I feel pretty comfortable with, that they sort of fit what would work in the weekend league. So I've done as much as I could in the first like 9 or 10 episodes here to actually prepare myself and actually get myself into the weekend league. And I think now it is just time for me to do it. So this has been a very, very long episode for you guys. I've been trying to make them quite long because I know you enjoy watching them. And when you've got to wait a couple of days, the least I can do is give you a nice fix of like 20 minutes of an episode, if that's what you're really into. And if not, obviously you can just skip through the video to certain parts and stuff. But hopefully you're really enjoying it and watching as much of it as possible, because I do put a lot of effort into these Road to Glory episodes. You'll notice that so far there's a lot more going into each episode than there was last year. I really want to push this series this year to be probably the main thing on my channel. So that is the team, that is the episode. We have done very well to actually qualify for the FUT Champions Weekend League. We've got crazy new teams. I'm set on them for a little while now, I think. Haven't got too many coins, but maybe we've got something to play around with when like marquee matchups or other SBCs come out. Perhaps we have the potential to do them. And then anything we get from those packs is just going to be a bonus for now. Because the only upgrades I can really think of for like that main team would be to get someone like Griezmann in for Ben Yedder. But then does that work? I don't know. I'll think about it over time, but it's going to be a long way away, right? Smash a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a great day, guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace.